Hello students, KTHM College, Department of Political Science, myself Chandan Shive Vasudha, welcome you all again for the grade based subject, that is Introduction to Constitution. And this lecture we are going to learn about the sovereign and republic. So we will move further and go through it. As already we have seen the unit of the subject, and in detail we have gone through the its point. So let's move to the next point. Uh, in our Constitution of India, in the preamble, we are going to learn the ingredients, or we will say the elements of the preamble in a respective manner. We will learn the sovereign and republic in this lecture. Now we will go further and we will know the meaning of sovereign and republic. So, sovereign, the meaning of sovereign is sovereign means that India is no more under the domination of any foreign countries, and any external force cannot influence its decision. It is a free and independent country. It is supreme over its internal and external matters. So the word sovereign implies that India is neither the dependence nor a dominant of any other country or nation, but an independent state. There is no authority above it, and it is free to conduct its own affairs, both internal and external. Though in 1947, India declared the continuation of her full membership of the Commonwealth of Nations and accepted the British Crown as the head of Commonwealth. This extra constitutional declaration does not affect India's sovereignty in any manner. And as we move further, India's membership of the United Nation Organization, UNO, also is no way constituent a limitation or her sovereignty. Being a sovereign state, India can either acquire foreign territories or cede a part of its territory of a favor of a state. Okay, it is not under any domination of any countries. It is totally independent country in all the manners. It may be in external or internal manners. And we will move further and we will go through the meaning of republic. So a state in which supreme power is held by the people and their elected representatives, and which has an elected or nominated president rather than a monarch. So, a democratic polity can be classified into two categories. One, it is monarchy, and other is republic. In monarchy, the head of the state, usually we will say the king or the queen, enjoy a heritage position, that is, he comes into office through a succession. Now, for example, we will say the Britain. But in a republic, on the other hand, the head of the state is always elected. It will be directly or indirectly for the fixed period. For example, USA. Therefore, the term republic in our preamble indicates that India has the elected head called the president. He is elected indirectly for a fixed period of 5 years, and a republic means two more things. One, wish of the wishing of the political sovereignty in the people, and not in a single individual like a king. Or second, the absence of any privileged class, can hence all public offices being open to every citizen without any discrimination on the basis of caste, creed, gender, or place of birth, etc. So we will move further, and we are going to learn about the evaluation of the sovereign. So the first one is contemporary disclosure. It has an almost universal usage. The concept of the sovereign is relatively new, although in contemporary disclosure it has an almost universal usage. In earlier civilization, sovereign will have meant little, but the tribal communities in Africa, for instance, were primarily organized, although the highest quality about the sovereign. So we will say that it is contemporary discourses, and it is we will say a central idea. The second one is the sovereign state system in Europe emerged as a response to specific historical circumstances. So by the 16th century, the church in Europe was beginning to lose control over the state and society structures. So since this were moving to in a secular direction for a variation of the reason, some of which have already been discussed. To expand the avenues of a trades or for the getting the the doctrine, so the sovereign came into existence. The evolution was there. After that, there were as we know, there are two dimensions of sovereign, that are internal and external. So the internally, when the state is considered to be sovereign and has a supreme authority within its border, it is the internal dimensions. And the external dimension, it applies that no state can interfere or dictate terms to any other state. And the last one is that it is one of the central idea. So this is the evolution of sovereign. So in this slide we are going to learn about the evolution of republic. So the first aspect is the modern type in the classical world itself is different from any type of state found in the classical world. The first evolution is in the classical world. After that, in medieval world, after that the Roman Republic, and the important one is which we are learning is in the Indian subcontinents. Early republican institutes come from the independence, means a tribe, it means assembly, which may have existed as early as the 6th century before Christ and persist in some areas until the 4th century in India. So, as our constitution formed, so in the Indian subcontinent, the India, we will see we are learning about the Indian constitution. So on in 1950, we emerged the word republic. It is the evolution in the Indian subcontinent. So now we will go through the objectives of sovereign and republic. The first one is it shows the source of authority to the Indian, the public, the common people. It shows the authority. It justifies the nature of the state. It might be independent, republic. It justifies how it is. After that, rapidly changing world becomes a redundant notion. And the last one is subject to new limitations and considerations. So these are the objective of sovereign and republic. So in this last slide we will go through the importance of sovereign and republic. The first one is national economies is interdependent now. After that, in existing framework has come to be seen as necessary as necessary and natural. It has acquired all the dimension of framework, and power has systematically been centralized and it has been used properly by republic and sovereign. It is very important. The power is systematically centralized. It has been bifurcated. So that's all in the in this topic of sovereign and republic. So thank you.